19-year-old Lily clutched the metal railing of the truck window, her nails digging deep into the rusted metal. The off-road vehicle jolted along the desert highway in Arizona, and in the twilight, the distant cacti cast twisted shadows, much like her life, which felt equally trapped. "Save your energy, Lily." Martha, her stepmother in the passenger seat, turned around. Her fingers, painted with scarlet nail polish, tapped at her phone screen. "Mr. Bruce is already waiting at the church in Phoenix. This is your 9th escape attempt, and you're not getting away this time." On the phone screen was a middle-aged man with a bald head and a beer belly, the fat on his cheeks jiggling as he smiled. This was the man she was supposed to marry, 10 years older than her late father, a building materials merchant who'd paid off Martha's brother's gambling debts. Lily's heart felt like it was being seared by the desert's scorching wind, a sharp, throbbing pain. She'd grown up in the poorest part of Tucson, the daughter of Mexican immigrants. Her father had died young, and her stepmother treated her like property. Since she was 16, Martha had been arranging marriages for her. Each of her 8 previous escape attempts had ended with her being caught, beaten, and starved. This time, Bruce had threatened to break her legs if she tried to run again. When the truck pulled into a gas station on the edge of town, Lily suddenly spotted a black Jeep Wrangler parked outside a corner bar. Leaning against the car was a man in a worn denim jacket and dusty jeans, but his tall, straight posture was impossible to hide. He held a cigarette between his fingers, the smoke curling in the twilight. His profile was as sharp as wind-carved stone in the desert, but his eyes held a detached weariness, like he'd seen too much of the world. Lily's heart raced. This was Jasper Holt. Everyone in town knew his name. He'd come from New York 6 months earlier and rented the abandoned ranch on the east side of town. Some said he was a disgraced heir, banished by the Holt family's leaders. Others claimed he'd stolen family money and was hiding out. But no one dared mess with him. Last month, 2 thugs had tried to rob him, and he'd taken them down with just a few punches. After that, no one went near the ranch. "I need to buy a bottle of water," Lily said suddenly, yanking open the truck door. Before Martha could react, she sprinted toward the bar. Martha shouted curses behind her, but Lily ran faster. She didn't stop until she reached Jasper, her chest heaving with exertion. Jasper looked down at her, flicking his cigarette butt to the ground. There was a hint of amusement in his eyes. "Lost, kid?" "Mr. Holt," Lily's voice trembled, but there was unshakable resolve in it. "I know you're from New York. I need to get out of here. I'll do anything you ask." Jasper raised an eyebrow, his gaze sweeping over her tattered t-shirt and faded jeans. He glanced at Martha, who was chasing over, and instantly understood. He scoffed. "Anything? Do you even know what I want?" Lily lifted her head, meeting his eyes without flinching. "I don't care about love, and I don't care if you have someone else in your heart. I just need someone to get me out of here. Help me get rid of Bruce, and I'll stay with you, until you don't need me anymore." Martha reached them then, reaching out to grab Lily's arm. "You ungrateful brat. Come with me." Jasper stepped in suddenly, stopping Martha. His grip was strong. And he pushed her back 2 steps, so hard she nearly fell. "She's with me now." Jasper's tone was calm, but there was an unyielding authority in it. "I'll talk to Bruce. If you bother her again, you'll regret it." Martha stared into Jasper's cold eyes, too scared to speak. She turned and slunk away. Lily let out a breath, but tension immediately coiled in her chest again. She looked at Jasper, waiting for him to make the next move. Jasper opened the passenger door of the Wrangler. "Get in." Lily hesitated for a moment, then climbed in. The car smelled faintly of cedar, mixed with the faint scent of tobacco, just like the man next to her, dangerous yet irresistibly compelling. The car headed toward the ranch on the east side of town. Neither of them spoke. Lily watched the desert blur past the window, her heart a mix of anxiety and hope. She didn't know if this choice was right or wrong, but she knew it was her only chance. Jasper's ranch was large but shabby. The main house was an old log cabin, furnished with nothing but a bed, a couch, a table, and an old fireplace. Several cardboard boxes sat in the corner, probably his luggage. "You can stay here. I'll take the storage room next door." Jasper tossed her a clean blanket. "No hot water, just well water. It gets cold at night, make sure to light the fireplace." Lily took the blanket and nodded. "Thank you." In the days that followed, Lily kept her promise. She woke up early every morning to make Jasper breakfast, using the last of his eggs and bread, and cleaned the cabin, washing his clothes. Jasper either went out each day or stayed inside reading documents, rarely speaking to her. Lily knew Jasper had someone in his heart. Once, while cleaning, she'd found a photo in his wallet, a woman in a white dress, smiling softly, her features elegant like a wealthy socialite. Lily recognized her, Olivia Carter, a famous New York socialite and the daughter of a family friend of the Holts. Lily didn't ask about it, and she didn't care. She'd never expected love, she just wanted to use Jasper's help to escape. But as the days passed, the atmosphere between them slowly shifted. Once, Lily slipped while fetching water from the well, and Jasper reacted quickly to catch her. His hands were warm, and the heat of his palms seeped through her thin shirt, making her heart race. Another night, a heavy rainstorm hit, and the cabin's roof started leaking. Jasper carried her to the couch, then went out in the rain to fix the roof. When he came back, he was soaked through, his hair dripping, but the first thing he asked was if she'd gotten wet. In these small moments, Lily's resolve wavered. She began looking forward to talking to Jasper, hoping he'd glance at her just a little longer. One night, Jasper came back drunk, his steps unsteady. He sat on the couch, staring at Lily, a vulnerability in his eyes she'd never seen before. "Do you know why I'm here?" Jasper suddenly asked, his voice hoarse. Lily shook her head. "Because Olivia's getting engaged," Jasper laughed, but there was only self-mockery in it. "She's marrying my brother, the heir to the Holt family. I've loved her since we were kids, but she's never even looked at me. I made a scene at her engagement party, and my father kicked me out of New York. Sent me to this godforsaken place." Lily looked at him, a twinge of sympathy in her chest. She walked over and gently patted his back. "It'll get better." Jasper suddenly grabbed her hand, pulling her into his arms. His embrace was warm, tinged with the smell of alcohol, and it made her feel safer than she'd ever felt. "Lily," Jasper whispered in her ear, a plea in his voice. "Don't leave me, okay?" Lily didn't answer. She just held him tighter. That night, they crossed a line. It started with raw desire, but there was something more, an unspoken connection. Lily knew she'd strayed from her original plan, but she didn't want to turn back. In the months that followed, they lived simply, even happily, at the ranch. Lily picked up her textbooks again. She'd once been the top student at her Tucson high school, but had dropped out because her family couldn't afford it. Jasper supported her, buying her study materials and helping her with math. "You're brilliant, Lily," Jasper said, looking at her test papers, admiration in his eyes. "You belong in New York, at the best university. That's where your future is." Lily looked at him, touched. "But what about you, if I leave?" "I'll go back with you." Jasper took her hand, his eyes firm. "I've hidden long enough. It's time to face everything, and I can't let you go to New York alone." Tears spilled from Lily's eyes. She knew Jasper was willing to return to the place that had hurt him, all for her. 3 months later, Jasper took Lily back to New York. When the plane landed at JFK International Airport, Lily stared at the bustling city outside the window, her heart a mix of excitement and nerves. It was her first time in New York, the legendary city that never sleeps, full of opportunities and challenges. Jasper took Lily to a penthouse apartment in Manhattan. It was spacious and luxuriously decorated, with floor-to-ceiling windows offering a view of New York's skyline at night. Lily stood by the window, watching the busy streets below, feeling like she was in a dream. "This is your home now, our home," Jasper hugged her from behind, resting his chin on top of her head. "I've talked to my father. He's agreed to let me return to the Holt family, but I'll be in charge of the family's tech business." Lily turned to look at him. "What about Olivia?" Jasper's eyes darkened for a moment, then returned to calm. "She's already engaged to my brother. Whatever we had, it's over." Lily nodded, not asking more. She knew Jasper needed time to let go of the past. In the weeks that followed, Lily prepared for college applications. She applied to Columbia University, one of New York's best. To get in, she studied late every night, and Jasper stayed with her, helping her solve problems when she got stuck. With Jasper's support, Lily's grades improved rapidly. When the Columbia entrance exam results came out, she was the top scorer, something no one had expected. The news caused a stir in the Holt family. Most of the Holts looked down on Lily for her background, calling her a gold digger trying to climb the social ladder. But when they saw her grades, they couldn't deny how talented she was. Lily didn't let their stares make her insecure. If anything, she worked harder. She excelled at Columbia, not just in her studies but also in campus activities, quickly becoming a well-known figure at the university. Jasper was proud of her. He often picked her up from school, and they'd walk hand in hand across Columbia's campus, a striking couple that turned heads wherever they went. But their peaceful days didn't last. Olivia came back. One day, when Lily got home from school, she found Olivia sitting in Jasper's apartment living room. She was wearing an expensive dress, her makeup flawless, holding a glass of wine. When she saw Lily, she smiled, a fake, sweet smile. "You must be Lily." "I'm Olivia, Jasper's friend." Lily ignored her, walking straight to Jasper. "Why is she here?" Jasper's expression was complicated. "Olivia said she needed to talk to me." "I'm here to apologize to Jasper." Olivia set down her wine glass, stepping toward Lily. "I never should have gotten engaged to his brother. Jasper's the one I've always loved." "Lily, I know you're with him now, but I hope you'll let us be together." Lily looked at Olivia, amused. "Let you be together? You chose to marry his brother, and now you want him back. Do you really think that's possible?" "Lily, don't be so unreasonable." Olivia's expression soured. "You're just a poor girl from Arizona, you don't deserve Jasper. He's a Holt, he should be with someone like me." "That's enough, Olivia." Jasper's voice turned cold. "Lily's my girlfriend, and I won't let you talk to her like that. Leave, now." Olivia stared at Jasper in disbelief. "Jasper, you're defending her over me? Have you forgotten the promises we made when we were kids?" "Those promises don't mean anything anymore," Jasper said, no trace of affection in his eyes. "Leave, and don't contact me again." Olivia's hands trembled with anger, but she didn't dare argue. She stormed out of the apartment. Lily looked at Jasper, her heart warm with gratitude. "Thank you." "Silly girl, I was always going to protect you," Jasper hugged her. "Don't worry about her. As long as I'm here, no one will hurt you." Days turned into months, and Lily's studies at Columbia flourished. She even won a scholarship, becoming a role model for other students. Jasper's career thrived too. The tech business he oversaw achieved great success, earning him the respect of everyone in the Holt family. Everyone assumed Lily and Jasper would be happy forever, until Olivia returned again. The Holt family hosted a grand dinner party, inviting all of New York's social elites. Lily and Jasper attended together, holding hands, looking every bit the happy couple. Halfway through the party, Jasper's father stepped onto the stage, picking up a microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, I have an important announcement. My younger son, Jasper, will be engaged to Ms. Olivia Carter of the Carter family next month. The room erupted in gasps. Lily stared at Jasper, stunned. Is this true? Jasper's face was pale. He grabbed her hand. Lily, let me explain, it's not true. Father forced me. Forced you? Lily's voice trembled. Your father forced you, so you'd betray me? Have you forgotten our days in Arizona? Have you forgotten saying you'd stay with me forever? Lily, I didn't betray you. Jasper said urgently. I'll talk to father, I won't get engaged to Olivia. Just then, Olivia walked over, linking her arm through Jasper's, staring at Lily defiantly. Lily, stop fooling yourself. Jasper was always meant to be with me. You're just a passing fling to him. Lily looked at Olivia, then at Jasper. She suddenly laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. I see now, Jasper. You never really got over Olivia. You came back to New York just to win her back. I was just someone to keep you company while you were lonely in Arizona. That's not true, Lily, let me explain. Jasper reached for her hand, but Lily pulled away. She turned and ran out of the party, not stopping until she reached the apartment building. She leaned against the wall, tears streaming down her face. She'd thought she'd found love, thought she'd finally escaped her tragic fate. But in the end, she'd lost everything. The next day, Lily skipped school and packed her things, ready to leave New York. She couldn't bear to see Jasper again, couldn't bear to stay in a city that had broken her heart. Just as she was about to leave, the apartment door burst open. Several men in black suits walked in, Holt family bodyguards. The leader spoke, his voice cold. Ms. Lily, we've been ordered to escort you out of New York. Mr. Holt says if you ever set foot in this city again, or contact Mr. Jasper, we won't be gentle. Lily looked at them, despair flooding her. Where's Jasper? Why isn't he here to tell me this himself? Mr. Jasper is busy planning his engagement with Ms. Olivia, the leader said. Please come with us. Lily didn't resist. She knew it was useless. The bodyguards led her to a car, and they drove away from New York, toward an unknown future. She didn't know where she was going, or what would happen next. All she knew was that she'd lost everything, her education, her love, her dreams. 5 years later, Los Angeles. Lily stood in her own design studio, looking at the designs hanging on the walls, a confident smile on her lips. So much had happened in those 5 years. After being forced out of New York, she'd come to Los Angeles, working hard to get into the Los Angeles College of the Arts, where she studied fashion design. After graduation, she'd opened her own studio, and with her unique style, she'd quickly made a name for herself in LA's fashion scene. The Lily now was nothing like the poor girl from Arizona. She wore a dress she'd designed herself, her makeup tasteful, her eyes filled with confidence and poise. She had her own career, her own friends, and a kind, loving boyfriend, Ethan. Ethan was a well-known LA architect, gentle and thoughtful, always supporting her career. They'd been together for 2 years, their relationship stable and happy. One night, Lily and Ethan attended a fashion gala at a luxury hotel in Los Angeles, where many fashion and business elites had gathered. Lily holding hands Ethan's arm as they walked into the ballroom, looking for a seat, when she suddenly froze. She'd seen a familiar face. Jasper. He was wearing a black suit, more mature and composed than he'd been 5 years ago. He stood in a corner of the ballroom, talking to a business tycoon, an air of authority about him. Lily's heart raced. She subconsciously tried to step back, but Ethan held her hand, concerned. Lily, are you okay? Fine, Lily forced a calm tone. Let's sit over there. They walked toward another table, but as they passed Jasper, he looked up. Jasper's eyes locked on Lily, shock and disbelief flooding his face. He'd never expected to see her in Los Angeles, and he'd never imagined she'd become so radiant. He instinctively stepped forward, but then he saw Lily's arm linked with Ethan's, saw how close they were. It felt like a knife had been driven into his chest. Lily didn't look at him, walking straight to her seat with Ethan. Throughout the gala, she avoided glancing in Jasper's direction, but she could feel his eyes on her the entire time. After the gala, Lily and Ethan walked out of the hotel. Just as they reached their car, they saw a black Maybach parked by the curb. Jasper stood beside it, his expression a mix of pain and longing. "Lily," Jasper called out, his voice hoarse. Lily stopped, but didn't turn around. "Mr. Jasper, do you have something to say? Can we talk?" Jasper said. "Just a minute." "I'm sorry, I'm busy," Lily said, pulling Ethan toward the car. "Lily, I know I was wrong." Jasper rushed over, grabbing her hand. "What happened 5 years ago, it wasn't my choice. Father forced me, and Olivia tricked me. I never meant to betray you. You're the only one I've ever loved." Lily looked at him, a bitter laugh in her eyes. "Mr. Jasper, I've forgotten what happened 5 years ago. I'm happy now. Please don't disturb my life. I know you hate me, but I need to make it right." Jasper said. "I've ended my engagement with Olivia, and I left the Holt family. I started my own company. Lily, please, give me another chance." "Jasper, let go of her." Ethan stepped in front of Lily, his eyes cold. "Lily's my girlfriend. Stop harassing her." Jasper looked at Ethan, then at Lily, despair in his eyes. He knew he might have lost her forever. Lily pulled Ethan into the car. As they drove away, she glanced in the rearview mirror, seeing Jasper standing alone by the Maybach, his figure lonely in the night. But there was no sadness in her heart, only calm. She wasn't the same girl who'd needed a man to save her. Now, she could protect herself, and pursue her own happiness. In the days that followed, Jasper began pursuing Lily relentlessly. He waited outside her studio every day, bringing her flowers and gifts, once even staying in his Maybach all night, parked below her apartment building. Lily ignored his advances, determined not to get tangled up with him again. One evening, when Lily got home from work, she found Jasper waiting for her again. He looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes. Clearly, he hadn't slept well in days. "Lily, can't you just give me one more chance?" Jasper walked over as soon as he saw her. "I know I made terrible mistakes, but I love you. I've found the truth. What happened 5 years ago was all Olivia's plan. She faked photos of us together and told my father you were only with me for Holt money. That's why he forced me to break up with you and marry her." Lily looked at him, her emotions mixed. She'd always wondered if there was more to the story. "Why should I believe you?" Lily said. "I have proof." Jasper pulled a USB drive from his pocket. "There's a recording of Olivia admitting she tricked you, and evidence of the fake photos. I even found the photographer who helped her. He's willing to testify." Lily took the USB drive, hesitating for a moment before plugging it into her phone. Olivia's voice filled her ears, cold and calculating, admitting she'd been jealous of Lily, that she'd never loved Jasper, that she'd only wanted to marry into the Holt family to secure her status. Lily's heart ached with conflicting feelings. She'd never imagined Olivia had been so cruel. And she'd never thought Jasper would spend years trying to prove his innocence. "Lily, I know it's too late to apologize, but I need to make it up to you," Jasper said, his voice desperate. "I'll give you my company, take you anywhere you want, anything, as long as you'll forgive me." Lily shook her head. "Jasper, I don't want your company, or your money. I'm happy now. I have my career, my friends, and Ethan." "Ethan's just your boyfriend, not your husband," Jasper said. "You still care about me, don't you? Otherwise, why would you keep that photo of us from Arizona?" I saw it in your studio yesterday, you have it in your drawer. Lily froze. She hadn't expected Jasper to go into her studio, let alone find the photo. It was a picture of them at the ranch in Arizona. Both smiling brightly. She'd kept it not because she still loved him, but because it was a memory of a happier time in her life. That chapter of my life is over, Jasper, Lily said. I'll admit I loved you once, but that was 5 years ago. I don't love you anymore. Jasper's face turned pale, all hope leaving his eyes. Lily, are you really that cold? Have you forgotten everything we had in Arizona? The nights we watched the stars, fetching water from the well together, sitting by the fireplace, have you forgotten all of it? Tears spilled from Lily's eyes. How could she forget? Those days had been the happiest of her life. But the pain he'd caused was real, and she couldn't go back. I'm sorry, Jasper, Lily said. We can't be together. Let me go, find someone who's right for you. She turned and walked into the apartment building, leaving Jasper standing alone outside. He watched her go, tears streaming down his face. He knew he might have lost her forever. After that, Jasper stopped pursuing Lily, but he didn't give up on justice. He gave the evidence of Olivia's lies to the media, and her reputation plummeted, making her a laughingstock in New York's high society. The Carter family suffered too, their business declining sharply because of the scandal. Olivia couldn't accept her downfall. She went to find Lily, determined to take revenge. One evening, when Lily got home, she found Olivia waiting for her outside her apartment, wearing tattered clothes, her hair messy, her eyes wild with rage. It's all your fault. Olivia screamed, lunging at Lily. You ruined my life. Lily stepped back, avoiding her. Olivia, you did this to yourself. If you hadn't lied and schemed, if you hadn't been so greedy for Holt money, you wouldn't be like this. I'll never forgive you. Olivia pulled a knife from her pocket, swinging it at Lily. Just then, Ethan appeared, grabbing Olivia's arm and wrestling the knife away. Olivia, how dare you try to hurt Lily? His voice was cold. I've called the police, they'll be here any minute. Olivia looked at Ethan, then at Lily, realizing she was trapped. She collapsed to the ground, sobbing. The police arrived soon after, arresting Olivia. Lily watched her being led away, no sympathy in her heart. She knew Olivia had gotten exactly what she deserved. With Olivia gone, Lily's life returned to normal. Her relationship with Ethan grew stronger, and one day, he proposed. Lily held the engagement ring, her heart torn. She knew Ethan was kind, that he'd make her happy. But a small part of her still couldn't forget Jasper. Then, one day, Lily received a letter from Jasper. In it, he told her he'd donated his company to a charity that helped poor girls go to school, and that he was leaving for Africa to work as a volunteer. He might never come back. He wrote that he'd never stopped loving her, and that he hoped she'd find happiness. Lily read the letter, tears streaming down her face. She knew Jasper was telling the truth, he'd always loved her, and he'd spent years trying to make amends. She took the letter and found Ethan. Ethan, I'm sorry. I can't marry you, Lily said. I still have feelings for Jasper. I can't marry you with this guilt in my heart. Ethan looked at her, sadness in his eyes, but he nodded. Lily, I respect your choice. I just want you to be truly happy. Lily hugged him, grateful for his kindness. Then she left, rushing to the airport. She had to find Jasper before he left. When she arrived, she saw Jasper at the check-in counter. She ran over, grabbing his hand. Jasper, don't go. Jasper looked at her, shock and hope filling his eyes. Lily, you're here. Do you forgive me? Lily nodded, tears in her eyes. I forgive you, Jasper. I know you love me, and I've never stopped loving you either. Let's start over, together. Jasper pulled her into a tight hug, tears of joy in his eyes. "Thank you, Lily. Thank you for giving me another chance. I'll never let you down again. I'll love you, protect you, forever." They stood there, hugging in the airport, the sunlight streaming through the windows, warm and bright, like their future together. Jasper abandoned his plans to go to Africa and returned to Los Angeles with Lily. He started a new company, this time, not for wealth or status, but to do something meaningful, side by side with her. Lily's design studio continued to grow, too. Her work wasn't just popular in Los Angeles, it gained recognition internationally. She became a renowned designer, helping countless young women from humble backgrounds, just like herself, chase their dreams. 2 years later, Lily and Jasper held a simple yet warm wedding at the ranch in Arizona. Only their closest family and friends attended. At the wedding, Lily wore a wedding dress she'd designed herself, while Jasper suited up in a crisp white suit. They smiled at each other, their eyes glowing with love. "Lily, thank you for walking into my life," Jasper said, taking her hand. "You're the brightest light in my world. You gave me a reason to rediscover what life's really about." "Jasper, thank you for loving me, even when it was hard," Lily replied. "You made me believe that love can overcome any obstacle." After the wedding, they wandered the ranch together. The sun dipped below the horizon, and the sunset glow draped over them, stretching their shadows long across the ground. "Jasper, do you remember the first time we met in Arizona?" Lily asked. "Like it was yesterday," Jasper smiled. "You were wearing that tattered t-shirt, but your eyes were so determined. You told me you'd do anything to get out of there." "Back then, I only wanted your help to escape," Lily admitted. "Falling in love with you was never part of the plan." "Me too," Jasper said, pulling her into a hug. "At first, I just thought you were a kid with a lot of fire. I never guessed you'd become the person I love more than anything." They stood there, leaning into each other, savoring the quiet moment. Lily knew she'd finally found the happiness she'd always longed for. She'd been betrayed and hurt, but she'd never given up. With hard work and courage, she'd picked herself back up, and found someone who loved her, truly and completely. It was early summer in Los Angeles when Lily's Wild Rose Design Studio received an official invitation to Paris Fashion Week, the pinnacle of the global fashion industry. For her brand, this meant a true leap onto the international stage. The studio team cheered wildly at the news. But Lily's fingers lingered on the words, "Special Partner, Carter Group," on the invitation, a chill settling in her gut. The Carter Group, Olivia's family business. Though still reeling from Olivia's scandal, they still controlled key relationships with European fabric suppliers. Lily glanced out the window to see Jasper leaning against his Tesla Model X, waving at her. He'd just flown back from a cross-ocean meeting and had stopped by specifically to take her to see their new home. "What are you thinking about?" Jasper asked as he walked into the studio, wrapping his arms around her from behind and resting his chin on top of her head. "Paris?" Lily nodded, handing him the invitation. "The Carter Group's our special partner." "I'm worried." "Worried Olivia's people will pull something?" Jasper's fingers brushed over the Carter Group lettering, his eyes hardening. "Don't be. I've got my European branch keeping a close eye on them. Besides, your talent doesn't depend on anyone's handouts. Even without their fabrics, you'll create something absolutely stunning." Despite his reassurance, disaster struck a week before Paris Fashion Week opened. The final collection sketches Lily's team had slaved over, along with all digital backups, vanished without a trace. Amy, the assistant in charge of safeguarding the sketches, burst into Lily's hotel room in tears. "Lily, I locked the safe, I swear. But when I opened it this morning, it was empty. The security cameras were tampered with too, there's no footage at all." Lily's heart dropped. With only 7 days left until the show, redrawing 20 designs was nearly impossible, let alone sourcing fabrics and sewing the full collection. Forcing herself to stay calm, she pulled up her cloud album on her tablet. Lucky for her, she'd gotten into the habit of snapping photos of her sketches at every stage, from rough doodles to detailed notes. "Amy, tell the team we're having an emergency meeting in 30 minutes, Lily said, taking a deep breath to steady herself. "We're scrapping the original collection. We're going with the Desert Rebirth line, the sketches I did outside the Louvre yesterday." Jasper walked in just then, holding a file. "I found out who's behind this. The Carter Group's fabric director copied the safe key. Your sketches are with Olivia's cousin, Sophia. She's planning a preview showcase the day before our show to steal your thunder." "A preview showcase?" Lily scoffed, a sharp glint in her eye. "Then I'll turn those stolen designs into worthless scraps of paper." For the next 7 days, Lily's team barely slept. Jasper chartered a private jet to fly in top-quality linen and hand-woven embroidery threads from Italy, fabrics that carried the rough, earthy texture of the desert yet glowed like soft rose petals under light, perfectly fitting the Desert Rebirth theme. Lily sewed and cut fabric herself, pricking her fingers so many times that Jasper sat beside her, handing her scissors, applying band-aids, and even offering small tips on structural lines, drawing on his background in architecture. On the day of the show, Sophia did exactly as predicted. She hosted a preview in the adjacent hall, displaying sketches nearly identical to Lily's missing ones. Fashion reporters murmured among themselves, and some even began questioning Lily's originality. "Lily. The media's calling us copycats," Amy said, panic-lacing her voice as she handed over her phone, the screen filled with negative comments. But Lily remained calm. She slipped into her finale gown, a deep brown linen dress adorned with gold-threaded desert roses embroidered along the hem, its neckline an asymmetrical geometric cut that felt both wild and elegant. "Tell the media our show starts on time. And send Sophia's showcase sketches, along with the ones I did at the Arizona ranch 3 years ago, to the editor-in-chief of Vogue." When Lily led the first model onto the runway, the entire room fell silent. Unlike Sophia's over-the-top designs stuffed with flashy, empty details, Lily's Desert Rebirth collection used clean lines and natural fabrics to highlight female strength, utility-style jumpsuits paired with hand-woven belts, fringe hems that swayed like desert sagebrush as models walked, and cropped jackets stitched with dried lavender seeds that released a soft, earthy scent with every step. Halfway through the show, the editor-in-chief of Vogue stood up and began clapping. She held up her phone, displaying Lily's 3-year-old ranch sketches, designs that shared an unmistakable soul with the ones on the runway. "This is true originality, designs with story, with heart, and with the designer's own life woven into every stitch." Reporters swarmed Lily's show, their cameras flashing non-stop. Sophia's hall emptied completely. Furious, she splashed coffee all over the stolen sketches. Without Lily's deep connection to the desert, without her empathy for women from humble beginnings, those designs were nothing but hollow imitations. At the after-party, Jasper walked over with 2 flutes of champagne, pride shining brightly in his eyes. "I knew you could do it." Lily took the champagne, clinking her glass against his. "And I knew you'd be right here with me, even when I was panicking." Jasper leaned in, his voice soft against her ear. "Not just now, for every important moment from here on out, I'll be right by your side." The success of Paris Fashion Week catapulted Wild Rose to fame in the international fashion world. Lily received custom gown orders from Hollywood actresses and even a collaboration request from a royal family. Just as she planned to expand her studio, Jasper's company faced an unprecedented crisis. Holt Renewable Energy, the Holt family's core business, suddenly announced plans to acquire Jasper's tech firm, Aurora Tech. At a press conference, Jasper's brother Matthew declared, "The core technology at Aurora Tech rightfully belongs to the Holt family. Jasper stole it to start his own company. This is betrayal. We'll use every legal means to take back what's ours." The news sent Aurora Tech's stock plummeting. Investors pulled out in droves. Jasper's father went even further, issuing a harsh threat: if Jasper doesn't give up Aurora Tech and return to the family headquarters, he'll never step foot in a Holt home again. Lily watched the light in Jasper's study stay on late into the night, her chest tight with worry. She brought him a mug of warm milk and found him staring at financial reports on his computer, his brow furrowed. "Don't overwork yourself," Lily said, setting the mug down and gently massaging his shoulders. "Can I help? Maybe use my studio's connections to negotiate with them?" Jasper turned to her, taking her hand. "No. This is a Holt family fight, I don't want to drag you into it. Besides, Matthew and Dad aren't just after Aurora Tech. They're after the evidence I have of their embezzled funds." Lily froze. "You knew they were embezzling this whole time?" "I did," Jasper nodded. "Ever since I left the family, I've been investigating what happened 5 years ago. Dad forced me to marry Olivia not just because she lied about you. They'd stolen money from the renewable energy company and needed the Carter Group to cover it up. If I'd refused the engagement, their scandal would have gone public." Finally, Lily understood. The betrayal 5 years ago had been tangled in far more lies than she'd realized. She squeezed his hand. "So what do we do now? Let them take Aurora Tech?" "Never," Jasper said, his eyes hardening with calm resolve. "I've already sent the embezzlement evidence to the FBI. Now we wait for the right moment to take them down for good." That moment came sooner than expected. The Holt family hosted a renewable energy strategy conference, inviting reporters and investors from across the country. Matthew rambled on stage about the company's bright future, completely oblivious to the FBI agent sitting in the audience. Halfway through the conference, Jasper walked in. He held a file in his hand, striding straight onto the stage and cutting Matthew off. "Excuse the interruption, everyone. But I have an announcement. The current leadership of Holt Renewable Energy, including my father and brother, has embezzled over $120 million in company funds. Here's the proof." Jasper projected the file onto the big screen: bank transfer records, falsified financial statements, even messages between Matthew and Carter Group executives. The room erupted in gasps. Camera flashes blinded the stage. Matthew's face turned white. He lunged for the file, but FBI agents stepped in, restraining him. "Matthew Holt, you're under arrest for embezzlement and commercial fraud." Jasper's father tried to slip out the back, but bodyguards blocked his way. He turned to Jasper, regret pooling in his eyes. "Jasper, son, I'm sorry. Can't you talk to them for me?" Jasper shook his head. "When you forced me to marry Olivia 5 years ago, did you think about today? Dad, actions have consequences." Watching his father and brother being led away, Jasper's expression was unreadable. Lily walked over, wrapping her arms around him. "You did the right thing. If you'd stayed quiet, they would have hurt more people." Jasper rested his head on her shoulder, his voice rough. "I know. From now on, I'll rebuild the Holt family's businesses, do it the right way." After the conference, Aurora Tech stock not only recovered, it soared 30%. Investors rushed to rejoin the company. Reporters praised Jasper's courage and sense of justice. Lily watched him speak to the press, pride swelling in her chest. The black sheep, once banished by his family, had reclaimed his legacy, with his own 2 hands. With Matthew and Jasper's father behind bars, Olivia couldn't sit idle in prison. She hired lawyers to apply for parole, claiming her family was seriously ill and needed her care. In reality, she was plotting one last revenge against Lily and Jasper. The first thing Olivia did after being released was contact Sophia. Together, they bribed a seamstress at Lily's studio to sew fabric with hidden racist imagery into a custom gown for a Hollywood actress. If the actress wore it to an awards show, Wild Rose would be ruined. Luckily, Lily inspected every gown before it was shipped. When she found the offensive fabric, her hands shook with anger. I treated her like family. Why would she do this? Jasper wrapped his arms around her, calming her down. Save the anger for later. We need to turn this back on Olivia and Sophia. Lily nodded, a plan forming in her mind. She didn't expose the seamstress. Instead, she sent the gown as planned, while tipping off a reporter from The Hollywood Reporter that Wild Rose would debut an anti-racism statement design at the awards show. On the night of the awards, the actress stepped onto the red carpet in Lily's gown. The crowd gasped, not in outrage, but in awe. The racist imagery Lily had found was hidden under a special dyeing technique, under the stage lights. It faded to reveal the words, equality, and inclusivity, stitched in soft pastels. When asked about the gown, the actress smiled. Lily's design isn't just clothing. It's a message, about standing against hate and embracing everyone. The room erupted in applause. Wild Rose was back in the spotlight. Backstage, Olivia and Sophia's faces turned ashen. They'd never imagined their scheme would become Lily's greatest moment. But their troubles were only beginning. Lily had collected evidence of Olivia and Sophia bribing the seamstress, text messages, bank transfers, even a recorded conversation. She handed it all to the police. Olivia was arrested again, this time on charges of defamation and intentional damage to business reputation. Parole was revoked, she'd never walk free again. Sophia faced consequences too. The Carter Group cut all ties with her and sued her for financial damages. The once privileged Carter heiress became a pariah overnight. Lily watched the news of Olivia's arrest, no sympathy in her heart. Olivia had spent years lying, manipulating, and hurting others. This was exactly what she deserved. Jasper hugged her from behind. His voice soft. It's over. No one will ever hurt you again. Lily leaned into his chest, nodding. She'd finally learned, the best way to defeat cruelty wasn't with more cruelty. It was with strength, with talent, with integrity, and with the courage to turn darkness into light. With Olivia and the Holt family's drama behind them, Lily's career reached new heights. Wild Rose opened stores in New York, Paris, and London, becoming a globally recognized brand. But Lily never forgot her roots. She'd grown up as a Mexican immigrant in Tucson's poorest neighborhood, and she knew how hard it was for young people from humble backgrounds to chase their dreams. So Lily teamed up with Jasper to launch the Wild Rose Charity Foundation, dedicated to supporting underprivileged young people with design talent. The foundation didn't just offer tuition grants, it gave students internships at Wild Rose, letting them learn from real-world experience. The first student to benefit was Maria, a Mexican girl from a Los Angeles slum. Maria had loved drawing since she was a kid, but her family couldn't even afford art supplies. Lily discovered her talent at a community charity event. She funded Maria's education at Parsons School of Design and hired her as an assistant designer at Wild Rose. "Thank you, Lily," Maria said, holding up her first full collection sketch, tears in her eyes. "Without you, I never would have had a chance to chase this." Lily smiled, patting her shoulder. "I just gave you a door. You're the one who walked through it, with hard work. Remember this, no matter where you come from, if you have talent and grit, you'll shine." Maria took those words to heart. Her Slum Girl collection made waves at Paris Fashion Week, clothes made from recycled fabrics, reimagined with bold cuts and vibrant colors that celebrated resilience. In interviews, Maria said, "I want these designs to tell every poor girl in the world, our dreams aren't worth less. We belong here too." Lily watched Maria grow, her heart full. The charity wasn't just about giving money, it was about passing on a spirit, the refusal to give up, no matter how hard life got. Beyond charity, Lily's studio partnered with Jasper's Aurora Tech on a groundbreaking collaboration, the Smart Fashion Collection. They used Aurora Tech Smart Fabric, material that adjusted its temperature based on body heat and could change colors via a mobile app. The line was an instant hit, orders poured in, backlogged for 6 months. "I can't believe how well this worked," Lily said, grinning at the sales report. Jasper wrapped his arms around her from behind, pressing a kiss to her cheek. "Because we're not just partners in business. We're partners in everything." Lily turned in his arms, kissing him softly. Always and forever. While their careers thrived, Lily and Jasper's home life grew cozier than ever. They built a house on their Arizona ranch, designed by Ethan, who'd become a renowned Los Angeles architect and remained close friends with both of them. The house had a simple American-style exterior, but every interior detail reflected Lily's design touch. The living room couch was made of hand-woven wool, the bedroom curtains embroidered with desert roses, and the kitchen tiles painted with traditional Mexican motifs. Every corner held a memory of them. On weekends, Lily and Jasper would ride horses through the ranch or sit on the backyard swing, sipping cold brew coffee as they watched the sunset. Sometimes they'd invite Maria, Ethan, and their other friends over for barbecues and singing, filling the ranch with laughter. "Should we have a baby?" Lily asked one night, leaning against Jasper's chest. Jasper froze, then broke into a childlike grin. "You want to have a baby with me?" "I do." Lily nodded. "I want us to have a child, someone who grows up here, on this ranch. Someone who knows their parents went through hard times, but still loved each other more than anything." Jasper pulled her into a tight hug. "Then let's start trying, tonight." Not long after, Lily found out she was pregnant. Jasper was over the moon. He spun her around in the ranch kitchen, kissed her until she laughed, and even renamed every horse on the property with "Baby" in their new names, like Baby Daisy and Baby Thunder. During her pregnancy, Jasper doted on her. He canceled all non-essential business trips, joined her for morning jogs, read her fairy tales every night, and even learned to cook pregnancy-friendly meals. His first attempt at quinoa salad was terrible, but Lily ate it anyway, grinning. After 10 months, Lily gave birth to a healthy baby girl. They named her Lucy, meaning bringer of light. Lucy had Lily's bright, expressive eyes and Jasper's calm demeanor. She rarely cried, and would gurgle happily when held. Looking at her daughter, Lily thought of her own childhood, growing up poor, never feeling truly safe. Now, she had a husband who loved her. A daughter who depended on her, a career she was passionate about, and a home filled with warmth. She knew how lucky she was, and she vowed to cherish it. Jasper walked over, taking her hand and gazing at Lucy. "Lily, thank you. Thank you for giving me a real family, for making my life mean something." Lily rested her head on his shoulder, tears streaming down her face. "I should be thanking you. If you hadn't found me, I'd still be stuck in that dark past, never knowing what happiness feels like." Lucy seemed to sense their love, her tiny mouth curling into a sweet, toothless smile. When Lucy turned 1, Lily received a nomination for the International Designer Award, the highest honor in the global design industry, a sign that her work was recognized worldwide. The award ceremony was held in New York. Lily wore a gown she'd designed herself, held Lucy in her arms, and walked the red carpet with Jasper. As cameras flashed around them, Lily thought back to her 19-year-old self, clinging to a truck railing in Arizona, desperate to escape a life someone else had chosen for her. Now, she'd not only escaped that life, she'd built something far better than she'd ever dreamed. When the host announced Best International Designer, Lily Holt, Lily could barely speak. She took the trophy, her voice trembling. "Thank you. First, thank you to my husband Jasper, who's been by my side through every high and low. Thank you to my daughter Lucy, who taught me what true love is. And thank you to everyone who believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself." She paused, looking out at the crowd. To all the young people out there who feel like they're stuck, like their dreams are too big for their beginnings, don't give up. No matter where you come from, no matter how hard it gets, you have the power to bloom, just like a rose in the desert. Her speech earned a standing ovation. Many in the crowd wiped away tears. Jasper watched her, his eyes filled with pride and love. This was his Lily, brave, kind, and unapologetically herself. After the ceremony, Jasper received a call from his father. He'd been granted early parole for good behavior and wanted to meet, just to say he was sorry. Lily saw the conflict in Jasper's eyes and squeezed his hand. Go. He's still your father. Maybe he really has changed. Jasper nodded, and they met his father at a small cafe near the prison. His father looked older, thinner, nothing like the powerful man who'd once controlled the Holt family. Jasper, I'm sorry, he said, his voice shaky. I was so focused on power and money that I forgot what mattered. I hurt you, so much. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. Jasper's eyes softened. Dad, let the past stay in the past. If you want, you can come live with us on the ranch, help take care of Lucy. She'd love having a grandpa. His father burst into tears. Nodding. Thank you. Thank you for giving me a second chance. As they left the cafe, Lily took Jasper's hand. You did the right thing. Holding on to anger only hurts you. Forgiveness is how you set yourself free. Jasper kissed her knuckles. I learned that from you. From now on, I'll hand over day-to-day control of the Holt businesses to a professional team. I want to spend more time with you and Lucy, riding horses, planting sunflowers, watching her grow up. Lily smiled. That sounds perfect. Time flew by, and Lucy turned 5 before they knew it. She'd inherited Lily's design talent. She'd wander the ranch with a sketchbook, filling its pages with drawings of desert roses and horses. Sometimes, she even designed little dresses for her stuffed animals. They were lopsided and simple, but brimming with childlike charm. Jasper's father had moved into the ranch with them too. He spent his days teaching Lucy to ride a pony, telling her stories about Jasper's childhood, and even mastered making authentic Mexican tacos, Lily's favorite comfort food from when she was a kid. Watching the grandfather and granddaughter laugh together, Lily and Jasper's hearts were filled with warmth. Lily's Wild Rose studio continued to thrive, growing into a globally renowned design brand. Every year, she hosted an annual Desert Rose themed show, inviting underprivileged girls from around the world to attend. She wanted to show them that dreams don't depend on where you come from. With hard work, anyone could make them come true. Jasper's Aurora Tech flourished too, becoming a leader in the renewable energy sector. Together, he and Lily donated a portion of their company's profits to charity, helping more people chase their own dreams. One day, Lily, Jasper, and Lucy drove back to the small Arizona town where they'd first met. The town had changed, new shops lined the main street, but the old bar and gas station were still there. The rundown ranch where they'd once lived together was now the Desert Rose Resort, welcoming tourists eager to experience the quiet beauty of desert life. Mommy, is this where you and Daddy first met? Lucy asked, holding Lily's hand and staring at the bar with wide, curious eyes. That's right, Lily nodded, pointing to the spot near the bar. This is where I met Daddy all those years ago. I was scared. But I took a chance, and everything changed after that. Jasper squeezed Lily's hand, his voice soft with emotion. If you hadn't mustered up the courage to run to me that day, we might never have ended up here together. Lily smiled, glancing down at Lucy. That's why we have to be thankful for the brave choices we made back then. And we need to tell Lucy, when life gets hard, don't be afraid to reach for what you want. Lucy nodded, though she didn't fully understand. She ran over to a cluster of desert roses growing near a tall cactus, plucked a small pink bloom, and hurried back to Lily. For you, Mommy. Like you always say, desert roses are the bravest flowers of all. Lily took the rose, and tears welled up in her eyes. She looked at Jasper, then at Lucy, who was now chasing a butterfly in the sand. In that moment, she felt overwhelming gratitude. She realized her life was just like this desert rose, having weathered so many storms, yet still blooming stubbornly, beautifully. As the sun dipped below the horizon, its golden glow draped over them, stretching their shadows long across the sand. Lily leaned into Jasper's arms, watching Lucy's laughter fill the air. And knew this was the eternal happiness she'd always wanted, the love of her life by her side, her child thriving nearby, a career that brought her joy, memories to cherish, and a future full of hope. "Jasper," Lily whispered, her voice gentle but sure. "I love you." "I love you too, Lily," Jasper replied, leaning down to press a kiss to her forehead. "Forever and always." In the distance, a single desert rose swayed in the breeze, its soft scent carried on the wind. It was a symbol of Lily's journey, and of all lives that bravely bloom even in the harshest circumstances.